have here? You don't have to watch if you don't want to. You might want to close your eyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
You see the mustache curl, you hear the gears engage. I'm writing history from a different kind of page. Hey! Full reviews, the judgment has begun. Under the crimson robe, I'm the only one with a time machine and a heart of cold stone. I'll take the future and make it my own. Yeah, the world is mine to break. One action figure at a time, for goodness sake.
G'day, mate. Today's review will be on the Premier Toys 0014, otherwise known as the Tyrant Warlord. But I don't think the name Tyrant Warlord fits a figure of this caliber. So,
Henceforth, I will be addressed as the Great Dementus, beloved ruler of Bikerdom, Lord Guardian of Gastown.
now, as you can see, this figure comes shipped in a very plain cardboard box. There is no art box of any kind, but here in the wasteland, you have to make do with what you can get. Down there at the bottom, another strange thing is that shouldn't that say made in Australia? But instead it says made in China. Iron made in China. Now, as for the box, when you open up the flap like an old-fashioned shoebox and look inside, you find the usual foam. And underneath the foam, you find a figure that I have been waiting to come out for a long time. And oh my God, where's his head? Oh, it's up there. Anyways, this figure is based on Chris Hemsworth's character Dementus from the movie Furiosa, and man, I love this character so much. And when I saw that this figure was getting announced, oh, I had to have it. And looking at it right here, I am very happy with this body because I was so afraid that it would come shipped with one of those like really fake looking cheap plastic bodies or whatever. This looks really good. These leathers on his leg, oh my God, they look weathered and nice. This is awesome. Look at all the designs there. That looks so great. Up here, you've got his little teddy bear and stuff, and like I said, a lack of head, but that's up there in the little fish tank. You've got his hands on either side of him there, and then you've got some accessories down here at the bottom, and a little bit of the wasteland and a little envelope right there. So let's pull this figure out and check him out. Now, a word of warning before we proceed. As you can see, when you lift up this layer of foam and look underneath, you'll find another layer of foam with more accessories. Now, that's not the problem. Up here, you'll notice that this top layer of foam does not have a bottom where the head fish tank thing is. And guess what falls out with a large crash through the bottom of the hole? This right here. And boy, when it hit the ground, it sounded like it was made out of glass. Thankfully, the head didn't get jostled, but it was very scary. Now, over here, you will find the bottom where it was resting, a base, some more accessories there, and his cloak, and that is awesome. So let's pull this figure out and check him out. So here's Headless Hemsworth fresh out of the package, and just look at the color on his neck there. It just looks so good. He's got all the ornaments all over his outfit. That teddy bear is already chained up. I was so afraid I'd have to put that on there. It even has little wrinkles there on his legs. That is so good. Down here, you've got his belt and his codpiece, which has some very cool little details on it, like those little angels there. That is awesome. And like I said, over here, you've got the cool leathers with all the little details and stuff. But man, this figure looks absolutely amazing. And just looking at all the details of him, I've got to say, fresh out of the package here, I think this figure is one of my favorites that I've gotten in a long time. And I've gotten some really good figures lately. But this one is living up to its expectations. I mean, provided I can get his head to go on. But man, this figure looks good. And as you can see, he's got some detailed paintwork there on his body, some airbrushing and stuff. It looks so good. Now, like I said, I was afraid. Look at his gloves, all the little details and stuff. That looks absolutely amazing. I mean, you would really think that this is a licensed figure, the way the details are all correct and stuff. This looks so good. Back of his neck there. And then you've got his vest, which as you can see has different colors all splashed onto it or staining. That looks so amazing. Down here you got the back of his belt. He's got his little leather pants again. And then down here you'll notice that he's got some straps there on that leg, but not on the other. I mean, oh man, I love those boots. If you know me, you know I love buckle boots, and this is absolutely amazing. Now, what's a Tyrant Warlord without a head? And what a head this is. This looks spot on to Chris Hemsworth in the makeup with the prosthetic nose. And as you can see, this head comes with real hair and a real beard. Now, there's been a lot of grumbling online about the hair and the beard, saying that they're way too short. Now, I don't think I agree with the length of the hair. Maybe it could be a little longer, but it looks fine right here. But the beard definitely could be a lot thicker. The mustache looks great, the way it's cut and everything, but yeah, that beard could be a little thicker. Now, mine's length looks a little bit longer than some of the ones I've seen online. Some of them look really short. So I think it's just, a crapshoot on what you're going to get. But man, oh man, this looks really good. Now, I have to see it on the figure to see what I really think about it. So let's take it out of this fish tank and put it on the figure. With the head attached to the body, I've got to say I am very happy with the figure I received, because like I said, I have seen some photos online of some really short beards. Now, the length of beard on mine looks about right for the younger Dementus scenes in the movie. Now, that's one of the things you have to consider, is he changes his look like 3 times in the movie. Now, this looks pretty spot on to the length. Could it be a little thicker? Yes. But, honestly, you can't see through it, so I'm very happy with what I got. Now, as for the length of his hair, yes, it ultimately should reach his collarbone, but this is long enough, for me, so I'm happy with it. Looking at his face, yes, that looks like Chris Hemsworth, especially with that prosthetic nose, the way they painted it with the red on the end of it and stuff. That looks so good. It's got his blue eyes, got his widow's peak up there. Now, mine has a little bit of glue residue around his widow's peak, but some people are getting them with glue residue on his mustache, under his nose, and it looks terrible. So I lucked out big time. And like I said, you just don't know what you're going to get. And like I said, I'm very happy with the one I received. Now, looking at his face and his body, you can see there is a little bit of a difference in the color. His face is more reddy, like it's been sunburned and stuff. And yeah, but with the beard and the mustache, it really does kind of transition better. So it's not that big of a deal. Over here now, when you put his head on, be very careful that his hair does not get caught between his head and his neck, because it can. And boy, oh boy, I had to pop the head back off and put it back on to fix mine, because that's what happened to me. But man, this figure was well worth the wait. And like I said, it's unlicensed, and I think this looks absolutely amazing, because you're not supposed to look at a figure up close like I'm doing here. You're supposed to look at it more like that on the shelf, and that looks like Dementus to me, and that looks so amazing. But yes, I am very happy with it. Now, looking at his face here, I do have to say I'm thinking of 2 things. Forrest Gump running around the United States.
I just felt like running.
And Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in Wolverine 2.
I'd like to buy this man a drink.
And that's a figure that I've been wanting for a long time that nobody's ever made. So I guess you could squint and pretend this is it. Just pop it on a Wolverine body with claws and it would look perfect. With my Cable figure, this is the second figure that I've gotten with a little teddy bear on him. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, this looks so good and I am so happy with it. Now, a lot of people too are complaining that this little clear post that goes inside of the base is very wobbly. And yes, mine is too. So yeah, I'm going to have to glue it down. But honestly, that's not a big deal. I think this figure looks amazing. As for his accessories, he comes with these 2 open gesturing hands. He has 2 trigger finger hands, and below that he also has 2 gripping hands. And all of these hands come with pegs already attached like Sideshow figures do, and that is a really nice added bonus.
Am I in Valhalla? Huh?
For his last 9 accessories, you've got this really awesome gun. Now, his gun here and a few of the other accessories are die-cast metal.
Die-cast construction. It's a lost art.
Now, as you can see, it's got a little post there poking up on the gun there. Now, if you were to poke a little hole in one of his belts, you probably could hang it on his belt the way he hangs it in the movie. But I don't know, because there's no way to do that. It's kind of sad because I wanted to put it on his belt. But that gun is die-cast metal. Over here you've got this little bone knife, and you can put it in the rest of the bone sheath there. And that's, the sheath isn't, but the knife itself is made out of metal. And then you've got the knife up there, that is made out of metal as well, and those are awesome. Up here you've got some weapons from the 5-Bite Teddy. Now those little spikes on there, the little dice parts or whatever, those are not made out of metal, they're just plastic, but boy, those spikes are really sharp, so be very, very careful with that. Over here you've got the saw blade of doom. I love how it's got blood all over it. And then over here you've got a bat that would make Negan very happy. But yeah, those look very awesome. Like I said, I think they're from the 5-bike Teddy. Over here you've got his goggles. They actually have lenses and everything. That is very cool. You got his microphone. The microphones that they always give never have long enough wires, but you know what? Hey, I guess that's long enough. And then up here you have his cloak. Now, when unwrapped, this cloak is huge. Now, looking at it, you can see it's got the right shape, and it's got the little hood right there that kind of billows up behind him in the wind, and you can see all the weathering. Now, where it does look good, it should be made out of parachute material, because this is supposed to be a parachute in real life, and it shouldn't be solid red. It should be like red at the top and then faded down, I believe white and stuff like that. But two, it doesn't make sense that it should be red at all, because his beard isn't red and his hair isn't red, so he's not the red Dementus yet. So he should have just a white, you know, that clear parachute material. So I don't know why they didn't do that, but you know what? You can get a 1/6 scale parachute and make your own using this as a pattern, and I'm thinking about doing that. Comparing this cloak to the one that came on the Furiosa figure, since they're supposed to be the same cloak in continuity, you can see that hers actually varies in 3 different ways. One, hers appears to be more oily, where his appears to be more speckly. Hers has a wire inside of the hood, which his has no wire whatsoever. And hers is actually made a lot shorter, since it's made for a shorter figure. But yeah, they still didn't get it right by putting the white at the bottom or anything like that. But looking at this cloak here compared to the one that came with the Dementus figure, this is the better made cloak. And it's too bad you can't put this on your Dementus, but it looks so good on Furiosa. Here's something that I've waited to see for a long time. Dementus and Little D reunited at last. Now these figures look absolutely amazing. Now there is a continuity problem here because, one, you can say, well, they can't wear the same cloak at the same time. Well, that's true, but they never appeared on screen like this together at the same time either, because this is a younger Dementus with an older Furiosa. Or I guess you could say an older, younger Furiosa.
You fabulous thing.
So, yeah, I really wish that they would make the Furiosa with the longer hair, or the Furiosa, even the little kid Furiosa to put with this Dementus. But yeah, I don't know that they're ever going to make another Dementus or another Furiosa from this movie, but man, it would be really cool. But this looks absolutely amazing. Who, you know, continuity be damned, who cares? As you can see, their bases are exactly the same, but they still look good, you know, sitting next to each other. Yeah, I am very, very happy with them. I really hope that they make Praetorian Jack. I think he's the last one out of this movie that I would really, really like to have.
You're going to pull over and get out. Stop!
I don't know, they could make the older Dementus with the vest and stuff like that. That would be an awesome figure, but honestly, I don't see that ever happening. These look awesome together. If these are the only ones we ever get, then I am happy. So, there's my review. Can I go back to using my own voice? I mean, geez, I don't even know what accent I'm trying to do. Is this Australian, British, New Zealand, Mexican? I don't know. Anyways, that was my review of the Premier Toys PT-0014 Tyrant Warlord. And man, I am very happy with this figure. Now, is it perfect in the eyes of everybody out there? Probably not. But you know what? I'm happy with it. And man, this thing exceeds everything that I have wanted it to be. Like I said, it really sucks to have that figure there and the Furiosa, and they really don't go together in the movie. I mean, that sucks. But you know what? Hey, still a great figure. Now, I gotta say, this review, oh my God, it's a wonder I'm still alive. I mean, this one was a hard one to finish, and honestly, I'm just gonna walk over there and finish the review. So thank you for watching it. I hope you liked it, and until next time, tune in for more food reviews.
We'll have to split up. Yeah, no time for long goodbyes. We've done some mighty things together. Goodbye.
Hey, this is Nolan North. You don't want to miss Fool Reviews. Fan him out!